Ladies and gentlemen, it's the same old team. Now you're seeing the new channel. This is our first video for Jack of All Trivia, and it's TV Sunday. Now, normally we would have our match for TV Sunday for the TV tournament we're working on, and right now we're going to take a break from that because we already had a big week with everything else, the free for all, our matches. So it's just more of a formal setback, or not setback, but just formal sit down discussion. We're going over something that's close and near dear to my heart, as you can see in the background here, and as well with my panelists here that are going to be talking with me about it. We're going to go over our top 12 Rangers of all time. And joining me for that, I'm not alone. First off is the Wolf, Jim Green. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
It's morphin time. I'm doing great. I had some family things to take care of, so I missed the Power Rangers movie match. So I'm glad I'm actually able here to take part in this. Our fellow panelist here, Ryan, took my place in that. So it's nice to have him here as well.
Yes, it is. Our last panelist, of course, is Ryan himself, and he did take part in that epic Power Ranger match where RJ came in 3 for 25 sheets to the fucking wind, probably 3 bottles of Jaeger into it, and just did phenomenal. But let's get to our last panelist here. Ryan, how you feeling tonight, buddy?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you very much for having me. I am more than happy to take a trip down memory lane, relive some moments, relive some characters and all that good stuff about Power Rangers, the legacy that it has become. It's been going on now for 25 years. So let's dive into this thing, go back in time. Let's talk about some characters. And above all else, let's have a more phenomenal time.
Exactly. And how this is going to work, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen this on many different videos, like, for example, music. We're each going to nominate somebody to make a list of 12. And then once we get to that list, we're going to narrow it down who's going to be number 12, 11, 10, so on, until after 3, instead of going who's going to be number 2, we're going to vote who's going to be number 1 out of who's left. So it's going to be set in that format. But we're going to kick it off first. We are going to... Should have got paper and pencil set out for this. God damn it. Unprepared, but it's laid back. So first we're going to go... Since I introduced Jim first, we're going to go to Ryan first. Ryan, who's your first nomination?
Well, I'm going to go with someone who was there in the beginning, someone who was very instrumental in being a part of its success. I'm going to go with the OG Red and go with Jason the Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
All right, Jim, how do you feel about that pick?
I mean, it's a classic pick. Jason is he's the standard bearer for all Red Rangers after him, and it's just that's just an easy yes vote. You can't deny Jason Lee Scott.
Well, you guys are gonna hate me for this. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's pretty much a lock for the original leader of the Rangers with Jason Scott, the original Red Ranger. I'd have to wholeheartedly agree that he would be our first name on the list. Ryan, you gave us 1. Now let's go to Jim.
I mean, just going off of Ryan, we got to go for the second lock here just to get him out of the way. He's the longest Ranger. He's been the most colors. He's been the leader of the most teams. Tommy Oliver. It's just that's all.
Yeah, I'm going to go in for second for this one. Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer when you have this. It's a no fucking brainer for Tommy. But Ryan, I think you'd probably be in agreement for this. What's your thoughts with it?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a no-brainer. I would probably say yes. My favorite iteration of Tommy was when he became the White Ranger and had Saba and the Tiger Zord. That was when I really became a Tommy fan.
Oh yeah. They nailed that scene just right for how they did it too, and it's one of the better well scenes they've ever done.
And
Okay. Oh yeah. Go ahead,
props
Jim.
to props to Power Rangers, because that was the best transition of turning a child suit in Die Ranger, which the White Ranger was in Die Ranger, into a full-grown man suit in Power Rangers. So
Well,
props to that White Ranger.
yeah, it kind of helps when um, you don't have to create a whole new Ranger just to steal that Die Ranger footage like they did with the Thunder Megazord. And it was so closely resembled. It was like a perfect fit. It was, yeah. And I think for our third name, I'm going to nominate. I think would be an easy shoe in for 12 would be. I'm going to go Time Force Red Ranger Wes, and with Wes, he he's naive starting out, and his character grows into a strong leader, into a strong foundation for the Time Force team. So I would nominate Wes. Ryan, let's go to you.
Well, considering the fact, even though I don't have it with me to show you, the audience, on camera, I do have a chronomorpher in my possession. So if trouble ever comes near me, I'm able to morph into action for that. And two, I'll be honest with you, and I want this on record. Time Force is actually my favorite season out of all the seasons of Power Rangers. So 100% yes. Wes is certainly in there.
The themes of Time Force was definitely with until RPM came along, it was definitely the most adult storyline. Even with RPM, those are 1 and 2 the most adult storylines. Since my vote really doesn't count, because I have somebody else from Time Force on my list, I'm just going to say no on Wes, even though my vote does not count.
Okay. Well, with that, Wes would be in there because since there's only 3 of us, the voting process would be it's going to be a yes for the person that's nominated, and then we decide from there. Since there's only 3 of us, because normally we do it even with 4 people, the nomination vote wouldn't count.
Yeah.
It would just be the other 3, but it's just 3 of us. But all right, let's go back round full circle again. We started with Ryan. Ryan, give us your next nomination.
All right. Well, for this one, I'm actually going to go for a Ranger character that I can relate to. Someone I really, really liked how he was portrayed, because I could feel some of the stuff that he was going through. I understand it just as well as I think a lot of people can relate to this character. I'm going to go with the OG Blue Ranger, known as Billy Cranston, from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because he was bullied, he was pushed around, and then he took up karate lessons from Jason and Zach during the course of the series, which I thought was very well done and very well put together. Granted, myself, and I haven't taken karate lessons yet, but if I were to defend myself, I would kind of go through a path, somewhat similar path that Billy went through. So I'd throw Billy in there. And plus, he saved the Rangers' behinds on more than one occasion. He came up with a lot of great ideas. And the one person who can translate his language was Trini, which I thought was really cute, really fun between the 2 Rangers. But I'm going to go with Billy on this one. Power Lance. So.
All right. Jim, what are your thoughts with Billy?
As a picture that was lost with time, as a 3-year-old boy in my mother's homemade Billy costume, I cannot, in good conscience, vote no for Billy. He was, before Tommy came along, he was definitely my favorite of the original 5. So yeah, it's an easy vote for me. Billy's a yes.
Yeah, even though it goes back with 2 votes he's already in, but I would say yes, he does get in. He was the technical mind behind him to really is that perfect balance between Alpha and Zordon level to the rest of them level. He's that perfect balance to really explain it back and forth. And I think once his character developed, you didn't need that so much from Trini or when Karen Ashley was brought in. You didn't really need that explanation so much. But yeah, I think Billy would definitely be a pick. So Jim, it is now your turn.
First shocker time. Now, this female, let's not count anybody that's in some sort of frozen stasis to be awoken later. Any kind of they're turned into a robot. Spoiler alert for RPM. They're turned into a robot, so they're not technically a human anymore. Let's take away the fact that since the actress Valerie Vernon got over her leukemia, she beat it. Great job. She was brought back to magical life at the end. Kendrix Morgan, the only Power Ranger to sacrifice themselves and die for the life of another Ranger. Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger.
Oh God, because I mean, no matter what, like, just taking out how the political side of how politically minded the world is nowadays, even just taking it out. I mean, out of Pink Rangers, she is up there for a lot of accomplishments, and oh God, because I have a few in mind that I'd rather see in there too, and we're filling this list pretty fucking fast. Ryan, I'm going to give it to you. Let's go with what you. I'm going to give it to you. Your decision first.
Okay, that's fair. As far as Kendricks goes, Pink Lost Galaxy Ranger. Excuse me. What happened behind the scenes is what she had to go through and all that stuff to get to where she is now. It's incredible, no question about it. Sacrificing herself in those certain episodes of Lost Galaxy. If you haven't seen it yet, please do yourself a favor and watch Lost Galaxy the entire season. It's great. I have a few other characters in mind that I want to nominate a little bit later down the line. So unfortunately for me, as much as I liked Kendricks and as much as I liked Lost Galaxy as a season as a whole, I'm going to have to say respectively, Valerie, don't take it personally, I'm going to have to say no. But Valerie Vernon, I salute you. My hat, if I could take my hat off, I would say hats off to you. And I look forward to meeting you at a Comic-Con one day. But for right now, I'm going to have to say no.
Fuck you, Ryan. I gave it off to you so you can make this, so you can make the decision, and now you throw it to me. Yeah, just work your shoulders, asshole. Oh God, it's because I look at it as just like, yes, they have individual lives behind the character for their own individual lives, and I look at it as just for a Power Rangers list, just for the Power Rangers themselves. Oh God, because she is one of the few where you can see, because you haven't, when you go into to try to wrap this up real quick, when you go into the category of it's not always fun and games being a Power Rangers or being a Power Ranger because real shit can happen. In Space told us that with Zane. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't always make it. You don't always survive. Zane was frozen for, 2 years in a cryo tube? I do believe. So I'm going to say yes on the fact, because she sacrificed herself to not only save the Rangers, but to save Terra Venture. So when you put that life on the line to do the ultimate duty, I would have to say yes. So Kendricks is going to be in. Yes, Jim, you can celebrate. And Ryan, trust me, I feel a lot of your same points with that, but I just look at it as that ultimate sacrifice, which she showed. And trust me, I have a few other Pink Rangers that I want to see higher up. But yeah, Kendricks gets in for this one, and it goes to me now. And I would nominate another Pink Ranger in Jen from Time Force, because that series was done so well with Time Force. It really is one of my favorites. I love FPD just as much, but I mean, Time Force is definitely up there. And Jen was one of those, you could tell like Time Force was a military organization. Jen was just like that badass leader that put her team in check, did what needed to be done, but you saw her grow interacting with Wes, a civilian, not only just for his attitude and personality affecting hers, but also he was the spitting image of the fiance she thought she lost. the love of her life she thought she lost, and he's the spitting image. That's the reminder she would have to see every day. And she grew as a character to be more open, more trusting of her team, more we do this together, not just on my own. Like when she hunted down one of the, it wasn't the, it was the one she was holding the gun at, Ryan and Jim. What villain was that?
Rancic.
No, not Rancic. It was the earlier one.
Oh, I can't remember.
Not the one that worked for the cops, but the other one.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, though. Yes.
But she held him down, and the Rangers talked her down to do the right thing instead of just taking that revenge like you could see with that character. But I would nominate Jen. So, Jim, let's go to you first.
Being she is the reason why I said no to Wes, I can't not say yes to Jen. She was technically speaking, miniseries excluded, the first female leader of the Power Rangers team. She was just a fantastic character. So yeah, Jen Scotts is an easy yes.
Yeah. And Ryan, with the votes already done, but what's your thoughts with Jen real quick?
Jen is one of the best we've ever seen, one of the best we've ever had, and one of the best there ever will be, to quote a pro wrestling term there for you fellas. Time Force is, like I said before, favorite season for a lot of reasons, and Jen Scotts, played by the very awesome-tacular Erin Cahill, is one of them. I've met her in person. She's more phenomenal in all the ways you can imagine as meeting one of your favorite heroes or childhood heroes in real life. She's great. So Jen, you have and always will have my vote. So Jen is a yes. Great leader, great character, great season, just great everything.
Oh, yeah. And before we get to Ryan's nomination, Caleb, because Caleb H. Mashed Potatoes is watching live in the chat. Yes, that is one. You will have to go look up Jen and watch that. I would wholeheartedly, I think all of us would recommend go watch it, Caleb. It is one of the biggest examples of a powerful female Pink Ranger I think you could see. And yeah, I mean, so far, yeah, he's pretty much on board with these picks so far. But Ryan, let's go into your next pick. We have 6 already nominated, so we have 6 spots left.
Alrighty. For this one, I may get some negativity on this one. There are portions of the fan base that liked this character. There are portions of the fan base that didn't like this character, but I'm going to go for it anyway. He was living out our dream when we were 6, 7, or 8 years old. He became a Ranger in his own right. I'm going to go with Justin, Blue Turbo Ranger. Yes, I know, first half of Turbo is not very good. The second half was much better, at least in my opinion. But Justin, being the youngest Ranger ever recruited, living out our dreams as we were watching the series along with him becoming a Ranger in his own right. And I like the color blue, so I do. Blue is actually one of my, if not my favorite color of all time. Spoilers, but blue's a good color, folks. Just go with me here.
Just look at his wallpaper in the background.
Yeah, feel free. So I'm gonna throw in Justin, Blue Turbo Ranger, into the mix.
Did we say spoilers?
If you're spoiled by this so far, then I don't know what to tell you. It's been 25 years for the whole Power Rangers Legacy Plus, and this is earlier stuff, so I don't know what to tell you. But I'm going to jump in, and I'm probably going to go no with Justin because I just thought with them throwing in a young Ranger like Justin, yes, it's a nice story idea because you can see that even little kids can be a Power Ranger, and you can see how they could grow and fill a suit that's the size of a 30-year-old man, like Jason David Franks. But you can see it was just kind of forced, and with Turbo, the second half was better. For fans, that's how we got in space, but I just say overall with Justin, I wouldn't put him in like a top 12. But Jim, the final vote is yours.
I have to vote no. I'm sorry. I mean, time has been better to Justin, but I just can't. I just can't, in all good consciousness, vote for Justin, that little shit.
Oh, that's all right, man. I know I was going to.
There's a reason why we left you on Earth, Justin. You deserved to be left on Earth.
Poor little Justin. I mean, at least they did his character because it was better writing in space. Because the writing for Turbo was just like it was like a roller coaster, not a good one. It was, that's the best I could compare it to. But they at least gave him like a positive farewell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's okay, guys.
There's going to be more options down the road. I'm sure we're going to get flack for. But all right, Jim, you are next, my friend.
I have to go with another one of my big. I think I feel like this is a bigger out of left field one, because he is also over back in the day. He got so much shit and nobody really liked him. But based on his character development from the first episode of being just a regular cub at the beginning, and he just had started in the Paizo, I believe is the order.
Yeah.
In Jungle Fury, the Jungle Fury Red Ranger, Casey Rhodes. From going from that to his 2-episode arc into Earn Your Stripes and the Path of the Righteous. The Path of the Righteous is one of my favorite episodes of Power Rangers in the after you go into the season by season format. That was just a fantastic episode where everyone's telling him Jared's gone, Jared's just a bad dude. He can't be saved. Daishi's taking him over. And after he doesn't earn his Master Stripes in the test and everything, Casey says, no, I know there's still good in Jared. And he walks into Daishi's lair like a badass and saves Jared. And so I have to nominate Casey.
I want to jump in before Ryan here. I will agree on the facts that Jungle Fury was a very, very underrated series, because a lot of people there was a majority that didn't like it over the minority of it, but it was very underrated because, granted, I thought the costumes were just tacky as hell, especially for the Wolf Ranger and the American-made Master Rangers for the 3. But the story of it was very good, and Casey would be on a list of top 15, but not top 12 for me. So, Ryan, the final decision, the final countdown is yours.
Final countdown. No, I'm sorry. I was going to go into the song there. Hold on. We're not there yet, folks. We're not there yet. Stay tuned. There's a lot of show left. For me, I am somebody who didn't watch some of the later seasons of Power Rangers, respectively, because I just felt the quality went way downhill. I felt it was very, very off. It just didn't work for me. Jungle Fury, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I know some of those actors went on to do other projects and bigger and better things, but for me, for someone who doesn't know a whole lot about Jungle Fury and doesn't really know about this particular character that you're speaking of, for me, it's going to have to be a no for Jungle Fury.
Yeah.
Lily Hutchinson did go on to star in, I believe, season 3 and 4 of Spartacus on Stars.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. And she did very well with those two. She really did. In case you ever watched this one day, you did very well in Spartacus. I wish we could see you in a lot more television.
Oh.
David, I can't recall his last name, who played RJ, plays the father of Zelina in Once Upon a Time.
Oh.
See, I haven't watched Once Upon a Time, but
I have.
But then again, we saw Sky on Star Trek STD, so
Because that brings him to his next nomination.
Yeah. Just like an STD, it keeps coming back, never fully goes away. All right, for a next one, which I'm surprised we haven't said anything about Megaforce. and I'm not going to
No.
either.
I was going to say, what character are you going for?
None of them.
Don't
but
worry.
the character I
already
want-
know.
Yes. Anyone says Megaforce or Super Megaforce, we're ending the stream. We're done. We're bye.
No.
You got whatever we had so far. But
Oof.
I want to nominate someone from one of the last of the Zordon eras who really filled in after everything at the end of Turbo was at its worst. You know, Zordon, Delphia, Alpha 5, Jive Talking Alpha 6, all of them gone. No mentorship. The Rangers' powers are gone. The command center is destroyed. You have to go into space in unknown territory. You have no idea. And you meet a new mentor figure that can lead you and show you the dangers of space is Andros Legolas himself, the Red Space Ranger. And Ryan, let's go to you first.
Alrighty. For Andros, I'm going to say that it was a fresh new character, fresh new leader, fresh blood, new talent coming in the door. I think he did a really good job with what he was doing, and I can kind of relate to that character too. He was a bit of a loner. He takes a step back, doesn't really tell his team all that much about what's going on. He wants to do things his way and use his methods because he doesn't know these other four. He's never seen them before, all that good stuff. I can relate to that. I've been a loner. I was a loner myself for a long time until I started to make some friends along the way. So if I can relate to a character, that makes me like that character and the actor even more. So I'm going to have to say yes for Andros. 3, 3, 5. Let's rock it. So yes. And it's a great season. In Space is one of the all-time greats. So Andros, yes, sir. Let's do it.
Yes, it was a great, very story written, but the visual productions weren't up to par. But Jim, what were your thoughts with Andros?
I'll keep it short and sweet. Andros gets a resounding yes for the sole fact that he makes one of the biggest sacrifices in the series of destroying Zordon's energy tube to destroy all the evil in the universe. That then comes back a season later, but whatever. For that act of heroism, Andros is an easy yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I always thought whenever I saw Zordons too, it was the giant fish aquarium. Like the Rangers were feeding them fish flakes in between takes. But for our next pick, we have 2, 4, 6. We have 7. So we have 5 left, I do believe. So Ryan, what is your next pick?
Well, I think the audience is going to see a pattern here with these characters, and I'm going to go with someone that once again, this character I can relate to. He has no karate/fighting experience whatsoever. He wanders on to this thing called Terra Venture, looking for adventure, and boy, does he find it, and he finds it in spades. When his brother sacrifices himself to hand over the Quasar Saber to him, for him to be the leader because he has no qualifications, no prospects, and nothing. He comes from nothing, and he rises up and becomes the Red Ranger, and I'm going to go with Leo himself. Leo, the Red Galaxy Ranger from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Very strong words. Jim, let's go to you.
Leo Corbett is an easy yes for me. He was a great Red Ranger after losing his brother, so he thought. He leads the Rangers, and that final fight where he sacrifices himself to save his fellow Rangers to destroy Chikina, and he was a great Red Ranger, and he had some abs on him. So that's an easy yes. He gets a yes just for the abs.
And just like me, I don't have any combat experience, and he didn't either, so he rose up to the challenge. So my hat's off to him for that.
I'm not going to second the abs thing like Jim there.
That's a little too
Jim,
descriptive.
if you want some alone time, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment where I whore myself out for hopefully sponsorship in the future for us. On Netflix, you can catch all series of Power Rangers up to Ninja Steel, Super Ninja Steel is out now, but all the seasons you can catch on lovely Netflix for only $8.99 a month starting out. Now that segment's over, yes, Leo would be astounding yes on that because, like Ryan said and Jim, he came from nothing to be a viable leader for this team, and his brother's sacrifice, which that season, a lot of it was the under theme of sacrifice. Not only Kendrick's, but Leo's brother. And, I mean, Maya's people becoming photo negative copies stuck in stone. Yeah. That was the only thing I had a problem with that season. I thought that was the stupidest gimmick, but it worked. and it was good. So Leo, astounding, yes. And now we go to Jim. What would be your next nomination?
I'm gonna go with one of my favorite of the Disney seasons, and it's one of the first ones. I'm gonna go with the Ninja Storm Red Ranger Shane Clark. You know, Shane along with Tori and Dustin, you know, they were all kind of just like, whatever. But then once the whole Ninja Academy gets captured, they're the only ones left, so they get the power of the Wind Morphers. And Shane was an excellent Red Ranger throughout the series. And then, I'm always going to give bonus points to doing things such as sacrificing your powers at the end of the season to destroy the big bad. And Shane, along with Tori and Dustin, do that. So I think I got to go with Shane here.
I'm probably going to jump in for this one before I throw it back to Ryan, because for what space we have left and some picks, I'm thinking like Shane would be in my top 20. Ninja Storm is not high up in my seasons. That's because of more of the villains were just Lothor made no sense whatsoever for his goals, ambitions, or direction. It's when you're a space ninja pirate, you want to be on TV dressed up like Martha Stewart to throw world domination around it.
Lothar was a good villain. He was mad. He turned his brother into a hamster. Oh
yes, the worst thing you can do. No, let's not backstab to try and get hierarchy like Deviant did. No, let's turn our brother into a fucking hamster. But that could be another one where we do top 12 villains. Who knows? If they like this one, we could do top 12 villains. But for me, he'd be in top 20, but not top 12. And Ryan, it's up to you, buddy. Does Shane get in or no?
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Didn't really like Ninja Storm. No chance in heck. So, no.
The disrespect that Ninja Storm is getting right now.
Yeah, I'm sure the chat.
I'm sorry, Jim.
People, why are you not supporting Ninja? Yeah, right. Whatever.
But you'll never see this for Megaforce. There's at least people that like Ninja Storm.
Yeah, so many ninjas.
Yeah. Well, from Super Sentai, you see
every 5 seasons is a reboot of itself.
Every season is. But before we fill this up, I want to go with another Ranger.
Okay.
You're gonna see a lot of love, I guess, for this. Well,
this character. Okay.
I'm actually going to save this one because I have a feeling one of you two will say it down the road before we run out of space. Hopefully, especially Ryan. But I'm going for one we haven't talked about yet too much in SPD with Sky Tate. It wasn't confirmation. We don't have it fully in canon yet, but the possible son of Wes. And I think for SPD, for his character development, it worked out very well. He was just uptight, by the books, wanting to be just like his dad. And through working with his team, with Jack, with all of them, he learns to really be a Ranger and to really don't be afraid to be human. Like we saw his first sign of humanity when he encounters the villain that kills his dad, and he has that single tear, and you see him grow in the series. And I think Sky doesn't get a lot of attention, and he should. So I would nominate Sky Tate, the blue SPD Ranger. And Jim, let's go to you first.
I'll throw it to Ryan. I'm thinking.
Okay. Ryan?
I feel like during the course of this show, I feel like I'm the one with a target on its back. I just feel like I'm being picked on for some reason. But whatever. That's neither here or there. Whatever. Anyway, as far as, what was it, Sky Blue SPD, here's my thing. I watched the first 2 or 3, maybe 4 episodes of SPD, just to get an idea of what the season entails and what it's about, so to speak.
Yeah.
And what I saw was potential that didn't really, at least for the first 4 anyway, didn't really build on it. To me, it fell backwards. And like I said before, everything for me that came after a certain season just went downhill.
Yeah.
So as much as I like the SPD theme song, and as much as I like a certain character on that series, it ended up being in one of my favorite shows of all time, known as Graceland. We love that show, by the way. I do. For Sky particularly, I'm going to have to say no for Blue SPD. Sorry, guys.
Well, it happens. There's a lot
SPD starts slow, but it gets great with Doggy. And then Grown-Up Sam, who you don't know is Grown-Up Sam until the end. Spoilers.
Really? You didn't know that till the end?
The audience doesn't know that until the end, but it's obviously Sam. But then, he does the oh, hey, don't worry, Z. Shh. Yeah, I'm Sam.
Wasn't that a movie? No, I'm kidding.
No, I think that was Benjamin Button. Guy,
and Tarkin in Rogue One, but
I am Sam. Oh, whatever.
Because of his character development and his eventual even turning over once he becomes the Red Ranger, he even turns it over to Bridge Carson in the very end for the good of the team. I'm going to give Sky a yes.
Oh, jeez. All right.
And Sky gets in with that one. Sky Tate.
How many do we have? 8 now?
9.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9 now.
9. Oh, jeez.
Yep. So we have 3 spots left. And Ryan, you are up. The only reason I picked on you for that last one is because I think you know who I was going to suggest first.
Probably. Not sure yet, but we'll find out. Who's my next nominee? Okay. You know what? We've had a pattern here where there's been a lot of guys on this list. There's been a lot of guys.
Let's get another lady in here.
It's kind of been one-sided. So I'm going to switch gears, and I'm going to shift into a little bit of a different gear and go with someone who replaced a Ranger that we grew up loving so much. And then she comes in to replace this Ranger. And I got to say, we were worried. We were concerned as a fan base because we were like, well, how is this person going to do it? They have no experience in the field. How are we going to relate to this person? And we ended up respecting her and loving her. And before she was good, she was a little evil for a little bit. And I wish they would have kept that mini-series of her being evil going because I was really enjoying that. And the morphine sequences of her becoming a cat, which is going to lead into my next point, was so cool to see. It was a change of the guard. It was a little extra spice to Power Rangers, and I love that. So I'm going to go with Catherine, who became the second Pink Ranger to pick up the mantle from Kim, who then later on became the Zeo Pink Ranger, and then took up the first half of the Turbo season as the Pink Turbo Ranger. So practically this awesome, tacular character known as Catherine has become 3 Rangers in the span of just a few short years. So I'm going to throw in Catherine, the Pink Ranger, from, I guess, if I had to narrow it down to a season, maybe Zeo, because Zeo, she made that her own rather than just replacing Kim. So let's throw her in as Pink Zeo Ranger. I'm going with Catherine.
Honestly, I would say you wouldn't have to really think of a season because we would have had to do that with Tommy too. So I think you can just say Catherine, honestly, because she stayed pink. It's not like she went pink, yellow, blue, green, octagon, whatever. But, But Jim, let's go with your thoughts for Catherine.
unpopular opinion incoming. Despite the fact that she was everybody in 1992, if you were between the ages of 3 to 15, Amy Jo Johnson was your first crush when you saw Power Rangers.
And Susie Q, don't forget that, Jim.
And Susie Q, one of my favorite Disney Channel movies before they were Disney Channel movies. That's for a different show. Yeah. But Kimberly is not as good of a Ranger as Catherine was. Catherine is an easy yes, and I feel like if she had come before Kimberly, everyone would love Catherine more because she was a much better Ranger in general than Kim. And bonus points, Catherine didn't break up with anybody by sending them a letter from Florida, which Kimberly pulled off the original breaking up through text message. So Catherine is
AKA breaking up through a postal service at the time.
It was a Dear John letter.
Yeah. So
please don't get me started on that terrible movie. Tim, your turn.
Yeah. Well, since mine don't really count, and Caleb posted, Kimberly had the best dialogue though, and I really do side with Caleb because I mean she's already in with you two because you voted yes. So mine was really going to be a no because I do agree Kimberly was a better Pink Ranger, and I hated, and it was a more writing thing with Catherine, that the forced Tommy relationship after let's end that relationship. Who are we going to throw? Okay, we'll throw in Catherine. You know, if you want to give her a relationship, fine. Give her one with Rocky or with Adam. You know, those two had so much potential, but they got pushed out of the way because it became the Tommy Oliver show later on. Mm-hmm. It really did. Tommy Oliver featuring the Power Rangers. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But I would have said no with Catherine on those merits. Yeah, she was a good Ranger. She would be up there in my list, but I would have said no. But you know, she's already in. So we went from Jim. Now it's me, and I do believe we have two spaces left.
Spaces left.
Yeah, no pressure on these spots.
My next one will be a definite no, but it's going to be worth it.
I got one that's going to shock people, but we'll wait for that later.
Yeah, I have two, and I'm just debating right now in my mind. Do I want to go for the easy pick, or do I want to really argue?
Do we want to go the easy way, or do we want to go the hard way? That's the question.
It's two picks left. That's the thing. So I'm going to go with the easy pick.
Well, I'm just letting you know, Tim, you're probably going to get another You're probably going to get another one in because my next one is a definite no, but it's going to be worth it.
Well, depending on Ryan's as well too, but we can if we run out, we can add honorable mentions. We can do top 3 honorable mentions.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to go with another Time Force because
let me just write him in because that would have been my next legitimate one. So I'm just going to write him in as yes.
Well, which one?
He is one of the most badass Rangers of all time. He is Eric the Quantum Ranger.
Eric Myers. That was my next legitimate nomination. So yes, Eric Myers. I'm going to jump in front of you, Ryan. That is like probably, I mean, not counting any of Mighty Morphin and Tommy White Light or Green with Evil, probably the best 6th Ranger debut. You know, Eric's got that silver thing that they found with the dinosaurs or whatever, and then he's in the parking garage, and then you just see him stick his arm in there, and then what happens later? We're getting beat, and all of a sudden you hear the clank of his gun on his arm, and it's just like this guy means business. So Eric Myers, the easiest yes. Probably this is the easiest yes on the list for me because he was just out of a season full of amazing Rangers all around Time Force. He's easily the most badass.
A very astounding yes from Jim. Ryan, what were your thoughts on Eric the Quantum Ranger?
Man, you had to go there. Look, here's the thing. I've said it once before, I'll say it again. Time Force, my favorite season for a lot of different reasons, but Eric Myers was certainly one of them. Not only was his debut great, but the way he just went about himself and saying, I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what the rules of engagement are. I'm doing this my way, and I'm going to destroy this thing before it attacks more people, and I don't care what it takes. I'm going to get the job done. You guys aren't doing anything. You're just sitting here talking, preaching about your teamwork and your goody two-shoes and roasting s'mores and singing Kumbaya. I'm going to get down to business. I'm going to lay the smack down. I'm going to TCB, taking care of business. Yeah. So, but by the way, the behind-the-scenes stories that happened with Dan Southworth, who portrayed Eric Myers, and how hard he worked, how he did all his own stunts, how he helped choreograph a lot of the stunts that took place within the series, and all the stuff he's done since Power Rangers Time Force, all the projects that he's done, all the involvement he's been having, all the types of fighting skills that he's learned over the course of his career, is just, he's what we call in the interwebs, this is one of his hashtags, it's a real hashtag, he's a professional badass. Dan Southworth is a professional badass, always has and always will be. So Dan, if you're watching this, I'm going to say 1,000% yes. We loved your character. We cannot wait to see what you do in the near future with your other projects. So Eric Myers, Quantum Ranger, Quantum Power, yes.
The only complaint I have before I do another horror out moment, because you said just in case they watch this, the only complaint I would have with, I think he got gypped out of the Battleizer because all he had was roller derby gear while Wes got badass knight armor, but that's another tale in its own. But okay, time for the horror out. Rangers, in case you do see this one day, just remember us three for free tickets for Power Morphicon in California. We'd love to be there to support you guys. All right, now that horror moment's out of the way, Ryan, we have one spot left. Let's see how you do, buddy.
This is going to be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I'm actually going to go for someone that doesn't get a lot of credit as far as being a Ranger is concerned. She came from the dark side of nature. She was an evildoer. She was one of the Rangers' best and worst enemies. And then she becomes a Ranger after her story gets redeemed. She leaves her past behind her, starts anew. I'm going to go with Karone, the second pink Lost Galaxy Ranger, taking up the mantle that Karone had left after she sacrificed herself for the good of the other Rangers in Terra Venture. She didn't get enough time in the suit. She didn't get enough time on screen as a full-fledged Ranger, but the time that she did get, I thought it was fine. It was good for what she did, and plus her as Astronema before that was just incredible. And Melody Perkins... You're a great actress. You got a wonderful acting skills, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to walk into a minefield. So, Melody Perkins as Karone, pink Lost Galaxy Ranger. I'm going to throw her into the mix, and I hope to meet you one day, Melody.
I'm going to jump in front of you, Jim. How you jumped in front of Ryan?
Go for it.
Okay. For me, I'm going to go no here, and here's why. One, because granted, it wasn't her character's fault because she had a lot of big shoes to fill. Not feel. She didn't go around feeling shoes. That'd be creepy. But she had a lot of big shoes to fill after Kendrix with the sacrificing herself to save her friends, to save Terra Venture, to save, to stop the Psycho Rangers as well and to stop this destructive force. And Karone, to me, as a Ranger, was just another version of Maya's character, of how Maya was personified and how her traits were. It was just, to me, it was another version of Maya. Wasn't really anything her own. But Ryan, I'm not going to disagree with you. She was a badass villain because, especially after the whole
mind control,
of her just
situation,
Yeah, of her just going even beyond that to want to take out Dark Spectre, a.k.a. Malagor from the Turbo movie.
Reused character.
Oh, they reused a lot.
It was his brother. Come on, guys.
Yeah, his twin brother, Ray.
Yeah, it's part of canon now, so.
Unfortunately. But, I would say no for those reasons. But Jim, you have the deciding vote for the last spot. Who do you pick?
I love Melody Perkins. She's great. And Villains List, she's my first pick. I mean, Astronema was amazing. But as far as her short time in the suit, it was great and all, but I just got to go no, because I just think it'd be giving it more to her being amazing as Astronema, less as her being amazing as the Pink Ranger. So for that reason, I'll say no. But she's definitely like in my honorable mentions. She'd be number 2 on my honorable mentions.
Yeah. So we have one spot left, and Jim, let's hear your pitch for the last spot.
We're going to go to your pitch because this is going to be a no, because I just want to throw out my first honorable mention as a big FU to this whole thing, because this person was completely evil the entire time they were on screen, but she was the first ever red female ranger, Charlie, the SPD A Squad Ranger. She was completely evil the entire time. She gets taken down by the B Squad. She sucks, but first ever female Red Ranger, Charlie, played by Gina Valera, as Power Ranger Wiki is telling me. Charlie, you are my number 1 honorable mention / last pick. I love you. Some others might not. Ryan hasn't even seen your scenes, most likely, but that is my pick.
He's right. I have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to say an astounding no because Rangers should be good, and she was just a bitch. Like, she came on and said, "Fuck you, fuck you. I'm doing it. If you don't like it, I'm just going to hold a gun up and kill you." I mean, she was, if you want the personified of evil Power Rangers, this was Lord Zedd's Promise done right, where they didn't look like they were in Halloween costumes your mother made you at the age of 1. So for me, it would be a no, but Ryan?
Yeah, I haven't seen her particular scenes with A versus B Squad, but I do want to see those scenes because I hear they're some of the best in PR history. So I'm willing to sit down and watch those episodes and or scenes, whatever resources are available to me. So
Netflix has them all, Ryan.
Exactly. Since I haven't seen them, like Simon Cowell would say, it's a no from me.
That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to give Charlie her dues.
Miss Charlotte.
Tim, throw out your last one. That was worth it.
It was. I was surprised when you said that, because I was thinking, like, who is he? And then when he said the right keyword, it was like, son of a bitch, I know where he's going. But the last pick I want to mention is one series. We've shown a little bit of love from a certain Ranger we've nominated because he's been fucking everywhere, He hasn't been in more places than Bulk and Skull. That's an honorable mention of Bulk and Skull are some of the most developed characters in Power Rangers history. From season 1 all the way to season 6, they went from bumbling idiots to standing up in the faces of evil and saying, we're just as good, even though we're not Power Rangers. But I just wanted to mention Bulk and Skull because they were awesome. But the Ranger pick would be from Dino Thunder, an anniversary show done right. And he is the White Dino Ranger. And Trent started just as this normal kid, given the idea, he's going to be a Ranger, and he gets sucked into taking the Terra Dino Gem because it attaches itself to him, and he has to fight off that evil force of it, and also save his father, who's fighting a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde as Mesogog. But I would go with Trent Mercer. Started off normal, went to evil, and then came back across with the guidance of Tommy, who knows that situation no better. So mine would be Trent Mercer. Ryan, let's go to you.
Alrighty. For Dino Thunder, I did watch a number of episodes, including the 500th episode, Legacy of Power.
Great episode.
That
Fantastic episode.
Love that episode.
Yeah.
With all my heart and my soul. And then
Except, real quick, if you listen to the audio on a second way around for Zordon, how do you fuck up audio that you own as a company?
It's a good technical question. But anyway,
go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, but as I was saying, after that, Back in Black when Tommy becomes the Black Dino Thunder, that was a huge moment in PR history that I enjoyed. Those 2 back-to-back episodes were awesome. But anyway, to Trent. Now, I believe the actor's name is Jeff Perazzo. I believe that's how you say his name. By the way, if I'm mispronouncing your name, Jeff, I apologize. I met him at a Comic-Con, and it was cool, and I liked his story arc. I liked what they did with it, but it goes back to that saying, the quality for me just wasn't all the way there. It was there in some parts, for sure, in this particular season, because it was a rebirth, a reboot of the OG MMPR, and I respect them for doing that. I really do. You gave it a shot. You did well in certain things. You didn't do so well in other aspects, but I'll say that for another video somewhere down the line if I have the opportunity. Trent, I'm going to have to say no.
All right. And that's fair. And that's fair because, like you said, there were a lot of things they didn't do right. A lot of things they did right. But
it was a mixed
But
bag.
Yeah, we'll save that for when we break down seasons. But Jim, you have the deciding vote. Is Trent in or out?
We have our top 12. I'm voting for Trent as in. Trent, he was the best knockoff Green with Evil storyline. They tried to do kind of with Ryan, they kind of tried to do the evil Ranger thing, and it just was kind of ooh, this is okay. It's okay. It's okay. But it wasn't amazing by any means. And then the season before, they kind of scratched the surface just a little bit with the evil Rangers, with the Thunder Rangers, Blake and Hunter, which was done pretty well, but Trent was done just a little bit better. So I got to give Trent the nod.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have our 12 nominations going down the list real quick for in case Ryan and Jim have to write them down so we can go down our who gets what spot. But okay, Jim's already prepared as Jim is prepared, and Ryan's prepared, but he's not showing off. But for the audience watching at home, mainly Caleb, who's sticking with us all this time, you're an awesome dude. Glad to have you back. But our list real quick is we've nominated Red Ranger, Jason Scott, the Multi-Color Ranger, Tommy Oliver, Red Ranger West, Blue Ranger Billy, Pink Ranger Kendricks, Pink Ranger Jen, Red Ranger Andros, Red Ranger Leo, Blue Ranger Sky, many different Pink Rangers of Catherine, Eric as the Quantum Ranger. I'm not going to say red because Quantum makes him special, and he is special. And a White Ranger, Trent. So we have multiple different colors here. But now, gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to, for a paper or pen, paper or whiteboard, whatever you have, I want you to write down your pick for number 12. Who is going to be number 12 for you?
Okay, 1 second. I just want to throw out some honorable mentions real fast.
Oh yes, yes.
We gotta give honorable mention to all of the Zordon era Rangers. Almost any of them could be on the list. They were all fantastic. They were all really good. Give or take maybe 1 or 2 of them, but most of the Zordon era Rangers were great. But for me, the one of those seasons that holds a special place in my heart, that I didn't feel any of them belonged in the top, but they were all great Rangers, specifically Ziggy and Summer from RPM. Ziggy was just the pizza boy, and then he becomes the Green Power Ranger, and he owns it. And then Summer, played by the amazingly talented star of iZombie, Rose McIver. Summer Lansdowne, she's the prissy, rich, spoiled girl, and her backstory episode is a really good episode of how she becomes her in this desolate wasteland of a planet that they now live in their realm that is what in the canon. But Summer and Ziggy, especially from RPM, they would be honorable mentions for me.
Yeah. To throw down a few before Ryan gets back here. Zach from Mighty Morphin, he was always one of my favorites too. I wish they gave him more to do. I think we could all Twee Trang, who was Trini, the Yellow Ranger, rest in peace. She was good too. They just didn't give her that much. Oh God, there's so many because I thought Jack in SPD was good. I thought I can never remember his name. Was it Dylan, RPM Blue?
Oh, he was black.
RPM Dylan was the Black Ranger.
Yeah, who was the blue? I can never remember his name.
Oh God,
Flynn.
that was
Flynn. Yeah, he was
the
great.
Scotsman.
Yes, that's why I love that love, because I'm Scottish in my heritage, but he was great. Dylan as well. There was so many. There was hardly any bad Ranger, minus the black Overdrive Ranger, because he was just a.
Let's not talk about that season because that season was.
Yeah, I mean I just didn't like him because he stole from children's charities, so fuck him. But I will say I did love the Mercury Ranger idea. I hated the suit, but I loved his character. But Ryan, what were some of your honorable mentions, real quick?
Honorable mentions, I had quite a few, actually. Well, some on my original list and then some of my honorable mentions, but I'll just name a few so I don't take up too much time. Lucas, Blue Time Force was one of them.
Yeah.
Because he was a ladies' man, and he had a need for speed, and I have a need for speed too. Lucas, you and I have something in common. I threw in, who was another one? I don't know if he counts as a Ranger or not, but I'm going to go with the Magna Defender.
Mike.
I would count him, Jim. I don't know about. I know Cannon doesn't, but
yeah, he doesn't really count as a Ranger, but he's honorable mention.
I would mention both Magna Defenders. The original Magna Defender, voiced by Kerrigan Mahan, aka the original voice of Goldar. He was so good as the Magna Defender. And plus, I don't mean to get dark on our audience here for a second, but I like revenge stories. So when he tries to get revenge, I really, really like it. And plus his suit, the Zord, his power gun that became a sword. I mean, just Magna Defender approved.
Cool ass weapons.
Yeah, he had a good arsenal of weaponry. So I'm going to go with Magna Defender as my last honorable mention. Love that character. It's Magna Defender approved. So it's all good.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot this off my list too. Zane.
Silver.
I loved Zane.
My sister's ultimate Power Rangers crush. He was awesome.
Mine was Ashley, but
she hates Ashley. But that's a different story for a different time. But my sister loved Zane.
Yeah, because if you have a weapon that can fold out from a gun to a blade, you're approved in my book.
And then who could forget Psycho Silver? Great. That was a great little twist.
Who are you? I'm a new Psycho Ranger. Like, no, you're not. But we got our honorable mentions out of the way. Yep. We got our honorable mentions out of the way. We are going to take a few seconds and write down who we think number 12 should be. So let's take a few seconds, write down our pick, and then
number 12.
Whenever we're ready, we'll go down the line.
Okay, number 12. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, I got it.
All right. I got mine. Jim, how about you?
I got mine.
All right. Let's go to Jim first.
I put Sky.
Aw. Ryan?
This is gonna shock the audience, but I actually agree with Jim. I said Sky.
Yeah! You spelled it wrong, but close
Double
enough.
aw.
No E.
I went with Cat. Well, Sky is our number 12.
Not today.
Sky is number 12.
Woohoo!
All right. With that, now we will go to number 11.
All right.
I'm all set.
I wonder what Tim put.
I'm taking the Sean Sandberg aspect on this one. Now I'm pissed.
Let's see.
Sean. No, I'm kidding.
So when we're all ready.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just going to say, I know it's only been one, maybe however many people were in the chat, but thanks for joining us in the chat room tonight, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Caleb has been sticking around.
Okay, I got mine.
There's going to be Sean watching later. So, Jim,
Nice.
Who's number 11 to you?
She was my pick. In all, she just gets slightly bumped below Cat for me. I put Kendricks.
Okay. Ryan, who's your number 11?
I took a different approach. I said Trent.
And I went Cat. So, what we're going to have to do for this is revote.
Well, we're not gonna agree on the Trent. So basically, I think since Tim and I will not agree that Trent is 11, I think Ryan gets the deciding vote between Kendricks and Cat. So our votes cancel out, and then he can get the deciding changing vote.
Okay. All right, Ryan, that's fair. You have the deciding vote.
All right. Between Kendricks and Cat, I'm gonna go with Kendricks on this one.
Ooh,
that's fair. That's fair.
I really thought she was going to make it into at least a top 8. I really thought so. Oh, okay. All right. Now we are entering our top 10. So, gentlemen, write down your pick for 10.
I wonder who Tim's going to pick.
I was actually hoping Ryan was going to go my way, and I erased it and had to rewrite. So, yeah.
All righty.
So, Ryan's not going to be brought back. No, I'm just kidding. Pretty much for Power Rangers, it's going to be us 3 and RJ when he can get here. So,
yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jim, let's go with you.
I'll concede to you, Tim. I'll put Cat at 10.
Okay. Ryan?
We're never going to get anywhere. I said Trent again.
And I went with Cat. So Cat is number 10. She's at least in the top 10.
All right.
I'm happy with Cat as at 10.
Yes. All right. Now we go to number 9. God, this is. Oh.
I'm going to sound like a broken record.
Gee, I wonder who Ryan's going to pick.
Though the seasons that he never watched are his picks for the last.
Last few spots, yeah.
Until that character gets eliminated.
Yeah.
All right. Jim looks like he's ready. Let's go ahead and start off with you, buddy.
With me? Ryan gets his way. Trent, number 9.
God damn it. Yes. Ryan, do we even have to look? Yes.
There it is. Trent, right there in print.
And I went Billy, but...
Oh!
Yep. Trent is now number 9, which I can live with that. He gets in the top 10.
All right, let me look at the...
So... Yep.
Let me look.
All right, now we are at number 8, folks. So... number 8.
Number 8.
I got mine.
Hold on.
All right. Take your time, Ryan.
Write this down.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to fight for this one. I think I'm gonna have to fight for this one.
I got this one.
Oh. All right. Jim, let's start with you.
I went with Mr. Collins, Wes.
Ooh. Ryan, how about you?
I said some guy who played like 60 different characters. Tommy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Ryan was I just got an email. Ryan was taken off the Jason David Frank's Christmas card email list. Oh my God. And of course, none of us agree. I went with Billy. So honestly, since I'm probably not going to move for Billy, I will concede to Jim and Ryan's pick, and I'll do the voting for this one. because I know Billy is probably higher up on your list. So we'll do that.
Okay, this Tommy, you can hate on Tommy all you want, but he's not outside of the top 5. Make the right choice here, Tim. It's Wes is fine.
I did make the fucking right choice, and you put Wes. God damn it.
Wes is 8. Wes is fine at 8. Tommy at 8 is a travesty.
Yeah, let's go with Wes because it should be Billy, but no.
But no.
Wes is at number 8. God
all right,
damn
I'll write that down so I don't forget.
Yeah, you're gonna write it down to savor it.
Yeah, it's right here.
All right, let's go with our
number. You won this, Ryan.
I'm sorry, but I liked him. But there are other Rangers that I can actually relate to.
Nobody cares about
fair, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
The only time I relate to Tommy is when he starts kicking the living crap out of people as a White Ranger with a Tiger Zord and a Power Sword named Saba. That's it.
And you never mentioned the black, the green, the red, the other red, the other red.
The other reds and the other blacks. Yeah.
But, all right. Are we all ready for number 7?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All
I
right.
wrote it down.
Jim, let's go to you. All right. Ryan?
Broken record, Tommy.
Fuck you. Tim, we need to vote together because this guy is on he's a madman who needs to be stopped.
So I guess that means Billy is number 7.
Yes.
All right. All right, fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at number 6. Ooh, God.
All right, got it. I had to switch things around here, but okay.
This cleans up. This makes the top 5 really nice.
Even though I don't agree with it, but you know. Yet.
Jim, let's go to you for number 6.
I'm gonna go with Leo.
Ryan?
I went with a different character this time, and I said Tommy.
Yeah, you went with a different character, my ass.
For the love of God.
Jim, we were almost on the same page because that's the 2 names I was juggling, but I picked Andros. And I think we can agree. I mean, it's going to be a 2-for-1 vote for Tommy should go higher. So
Tommy should be higher.
I'm going to say, Ryan, you have the pick between Andros and Leo for who's going to be number 6.
Oh, this isn't hard. Oh, wow. 2 of my all-time favorites. Gosh, they're both good series. I'm going to go with Leo on this one.
All right. Leo is our number 6.
So our top 5 includes 2 of the original 5, 2 Time Force, and then 1 Space.
Who is it going to be for number 5? We're going to write down our names now, gentlemen. Write down your names.
Number 5.
Now we're getting.
Now we're probably going to start fights, but this is between us 3. We're going to start fights with.
Oh man,
I wrote mine down, and don't worry, it's a different name.
It's Tommy still. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's a different name. It's a different name.
It's a different character.
Yeah, it's a different name, and I'm about ready to take a dinner date with Amy Jo Johnson after this. Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Good luck with that.
All right.
I don't think. Do I want to fight on this or not?
We'll see.
Because I know Tim's just gonna put the same answer, so I'm debating keeping this or changing to Andros.
All right, who goes first?
Let you guys go first. I'll go last.
We've always been going with We'll start this time. Ryan, what's yours? It's going to be Tommy.
No, it's actually, believe it or not, it's Andros.
What?
Oh,
he
Ryan,
change up.
Andros.
Oh!
I was debating to change it to Andros just so Ryan would stop being a dick and we wouldn't have to deal with him. But so I'll just say this was Andros. So my number 4 pick won't be revealed yet.
Okay. All right.
Let me see.
Okay, we are on number 4. So
okay, let me see who's left. I got to look at my. Did we go with? No, we already did that. Shoot. Leo, Andros.
There's
Who's left? Oh, okay.
don't say him. Don't say him.
I want to hate myself for this, but
I misunderstood what the list was, but I got it now. Okay, I got my number 4.
Oh, man, this I think there's going to be some arguments here.
I have number 4.
This is going to be. You guys are definitely going to hate me right now. Okay, Jim, let's go with you first.
I went with Eric Myers, the Quantum Ranger.
No.
Ryan. Sorry.
I disagree. I'm going to go with a beautiful woman known as Jen.
And you guys are going to hate me. I went with Jason.
Oh, man.
No!
I had to make a tough call. And
dude, Daniel Bryan is screaming into the chat room right now. No.
Oh, no, man. What are we doing here?
I don't even know how to decide this because I think Jen should be.
I'll pound the table. Too. I want Jen. I'm just gonna spoil the next one. Jen's my third. I can't not have Jen top 3. She's gonna be my number 3. So I can't concede to putting Jen at 4. I can't.
Ryan, what was yours, Ryan?
Jen. Ryan picked Jen.
I was the one who said Jen scouts the pink time for us.
I'm probably not going to win with Jason, so I'll take myself out of this, and I'll vote Eric for number 4. Because I would have no win for an argument for Jason with the 3 of us because
if Renee was here, he would be shaming you.
So I guess...
Renee would probably get his power sword that he had signed from Austin St. John, put it in the back of his vehicle,
and stick it to the screen.
No, he would go to the airport, take his happy ass to Pittsburgh, drive 45 minutes to my area, knock on my door, and probably stab me in the heart with that sword.
Oh, man.
Sorry, RJ, I know you would. But now we are at the difficult decision of number 3.
Jeez.
This is going to be hard for all of us, but...
That's what she said.
Oh, boy.
Gee,
all right. Do we need more time, gentlemen? Or
I am good.
I had to switch,
Ryan?
but all right. Yeah.
All right, we're all good.
Forever, but okay.
Jim, what's yours?
Jennifer Scott's.
All right, Ryan.
Some guy named Tommy.
Oh my God! Fuck off, Ryan.
Jason himself. God damn it.
We're gonna be here all night, folks. Be sure to tip your waitress as we're going along.
Yeah.
Order up another pitcher of whatever it is that you're drinking in the chat rooms right now.
So who are we gonna? Fuck you, Ryan. So Tim. Man, this is gonna be a tough one.
I have a solution for this.
We let the chat room decide.
Well, there's only Caleb and myself in here because I was watching the chat.
I wish there were 15 people.
I have a solution for this. I have a solution.
Are you gonna pick a number between 1 and 5? Or are you gonna?
No. I was actually.
Flip a coin.
I think I know what your solution is, and I will beat you to it. We will flip a coin.
No. Here's what we have here.
He has 3 different coins.
Here's what we have here. Yes, I'm going to write since there are 3 different names we're voting for. I'm going to write all 3 of them in here, mix them up, and I'm going to let you 2 decide on 2 picks, and then I will vote in between them. Okay. That is probably the only way we're going to get through this because none of us want to budge, but that's going to be the solution. So hold on, give me a second.
Sure.
Let me get a black one because they're all fucking red, and I'm using a red marker. Because, smart, intelligence.
So I'm trying to think. We're at 3, so it's between.
So it's between Tommy, Jen, and Jason, but.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
The red power coin.
All right, mixing them up.
Jason.
Jim, let's start with you. Which one are you going to choose? The top one here, this one, or this one?
The top.
The top?
Yes.
Okay. And Ryan, what's yours?
Oh my gosh. The one that you just pointed to, the one on the right. Yes.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, I'm going to go with that one.
Those two choices to choose between from are, just to make sure. Make sure. Wow. Oh my God. I am not joking because I just had to double check that one. Jason and Tommy.
Jen is going to be in the top 2. I can't. I will never in my life budge on. I can't put Jason ahead of Tommy, just because Tommy's been the leader. Tommy's been the leader of multiple teams. He passed.
Well, just remember,
powers.
You're convincing me for this. So
Tommy led the mission to get the sort of power to transfer the powers from the 3 from Trini, Zach, and Jason to Steve. I was going to say Steve. Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. Why do they had to get a power sword in the middle of the summer solstice in the 23rd year? Why they had to do that when all Kim had to do was hand over a coin, I don't know. But and if you've ever listened to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rocket Adventure album, you will hear at the beginning of Go Green Ranger and 5 for 1, Tommy, even though his powers are diminishing, puts himself above. He puts his powers. He puts on secondary to helping the other Rangers. And he's been so many different colors, and he's been a mentor while being a Ranger. So you can't have Jason above Tommy.
All right, Ryan, give me your best argument for saving Jason. Jim gave me his best argument for saving Tommy. Give me the best argument for saving Jason. And before you do, I just want to say this is how you do Movie Battleground right. Go ahead, Ryan.
Thanks. Maybe I'll be on a future episode of that later down the line.
If they ever get their shit together.
That's a story for a different day. So as far as convincing you to keep to go with the God, Jason should be number 1. To keep Jason, I would say he is the one who was there from the very beginning, 16 weeks before Tommy even knew Tommy even walked through the front doors of Angel Grove High, saying, hi, I'm Tommy, the new guy.
He first walks into the juice bar, but whatever.
Go with me here. So,
Jim, he didn't interrupt you. Let him speak. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, you're killing
I apologize.
You're killing me, Smalls.
As long as he gets facts and not fake news.
Whatever. He comes to the doors and whatever. So Jason is the creme de la creme. He is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be as far as, I guess, in this case, leaders go. He walks softly and he carries a big stick. And for a leader, it's not always easy to do, but he does it, and he does it in spades. He led his team through some of the worst, devastating circumstances, and he was there 100% of the way, never tapped out, never surrendered. He was one of the few Rangers in the history of Power Rangers to never actually be defeated. So please keep Jason and go for it.
All right. Weighing both of these facts, and I do, before we go into this, I do want to mention in the chat, because Caleb's still with us, a lot of ladies in the top 5 too. Jason would be his number 5. Hell yeah, Jason is the weakest. The Quantum Ranger is under Jason. Fuck out of here. Jason does deserve top 3. This is madness. And he trained Billy, Zach, and Kimberly too. Okay. Now, both sides of the argument are, let's start with Jim's. Jim bringing up Tommy becoming the mentor, the leader later on, and taking that role for all the way up to the first half of Turbo. I do agree with that. And Ryan mentioning Jason was there starting it, that first true leader, when none of them knew what the hell they were doing. And Jason taking that mantle as a leader to lead and guide and teach them. And he has been through some of the earliest, thickest battles with the spell of in Sentai when Bandora, Rita's counterpart in Sentai, brought Satan to block out the sun. But in ours, it was just some demon or whatever blocked out the sun and the Megazord lost power. But I'm going to go for number 3 with Jason, because Ryan, you had one false mistake. If you would have mentioned the tiring out of Tommy, of it becoming the Tommy Oliver show with the Power Rangers, I would have voted Tommy, because I feel that same way. Yes, Tommy did a lot of good, but no one ever mentions, and there's a lot of people that got sick of the rest of the Rangers taking a backseat to Tommy for a lot of story. Now, if Ryan, you would have mentioned that, you definitely, I would have been like, okay, my vote's in. But with that, I'm going to vote Jason as number 3. So Jason will be number 3, and that'll be the end of that.
Your overconfidence is your weakness, Ryan.
Your faith in your friends is yours. Sorry, just a Star Wars quote off, guys.
Faith in your
mom. Oh, no, that's fine. Because like I said, Ryan, if you would have mentioned that, I would have been like, yeah, Tommy's number 3, hands down.
It did become the top.
Hey, what was your reply there, Ryan? What was your reply there?
To what?
To your overconfidence is your weakness.
I did the next quote from Star Wars where he says, your faith in your friends is yours. It was from Return of the Jedi.
Faith in your mama.
Whatever.
All right.
Saying that because
Robot Chicken Star Wars episode, the first one. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We're off the Power Rangers subject. Let's bring this Super Max train back on track.
Sorry.
Speed Rescue, we love you, even though no one mentioned Carter Grayson, one of the greatest Red Rangers of all time.
He was going to be one of my next picks.
Yeah. He was one of the ones that said, I'm going guns blazing the way it should be.
And he was in one of the better seasons.
Yeah. But now we are choosing not our number 2, our number 1 out of who we have left, who should be number 1.
Ryan, you're choosing your number 2. Tell us who your number 2 is.
Oh, God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard for me. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Make the right choice. Do it.
Star Wars is not here. This is Power Rangers. Emperor Palpatine would have got killed by Zordon.
Hey, do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm not going. Whatever.
Bacardi and Cola. Do it.
You know what?
I know. It's a good.
I got my pick in. I got my pick in for number 1.
But he said, do it. Do it.
Do it.
Ryan, you ready?
Unfortunately.
All right. Jim, let's start with you.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 Power Ranger of all time is Tommy Oliver.
Ryan?
I didn't want to do this. I don't want to make this Tommy Oliver show, so I went with the pink Time Force Ranger, Jen.
I just want to take this time to thank all of the people that were in chat with us, Caleb, all those that will watch on replay, my whoring sponsorships of Power Morphicon, Netflix, and the lovely and talented Amy Jo Johnson. If you haven't seen her show, it's called Dead Point? No, not Dead Point.
You mean Flashpoint?
Flashpoint. Watch it. It is very good.
I saw a few episodes. It was good.
Yeah, my ex got me onto it. Yeah, one of the very few good things she ever did. Give me a drum roll, gentlemen, because this is deserving. Number 1 pick, Jen, Power Rangers Time Force.
Oh my God!
Oh, we have shocked the world of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. We have shocked the world right here.
Revote. I demand a recount. Where's Florida's vote?
Where's Florida's vote?
What is this? 1998? What are you talking about?
I was so torn when we got down to the last 2. I was so torn.
We just broke records here tonight, gentlemen.
Jim is now just calling
He's gonna tweet
shenanigans.
He's going to tweet to the government. He's going to tweet to everybody he could find to say, we need a recount, folks.
I'm going to have Al Sharpton calling into the channel like, this is a travesty.
Jim's going to get on change.org and start a petition.
My petition's going to be right there with remove Star Wars The Last Jedi from the canon, because those are both going to be equally as effective.
Oh, wow.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi should be removed.
Right
from
there
Jim.
with secede Texas from the Union, close in and out in its entirety, prove to us that the Earth is not flat. All of them.
We're getting into some sensitive areas here, folks.
And I before we go down our top 12 list here,
that's the only way that Tommy is not the number 1 is on a flat.
Caleb is on your side. Tommy should be number 1.
It is not the Tommy Oliver show, Caleb.
But real quick, let's go down our list of 12. At number 12 is Sky Tate, SPD Blue. Number 11, Kendricks, Lost Galaxy Pink. Number 10, Catherine herself. Many different colors of pink, stretching from Mighty Morphin all the way to the first half of Turbo. At number 9, the White Terra Ranger from Dino Thunder, Trent Mercer. Number 9, he is everybody's favorite Time Force Red Ranger, Wesley Collins. Number 7, everybody's favorite nerd, who R.J. Seiler stole the new movie playing this character, Billy Cranston, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Blue, and as well as stealing Steve Jobs' wardrobe into Zeo. Fun fact. Number 6, Lost Galaxy Red Ranger, Leo himself. Number 5, the Legolas-looking Space Ranger motherfucker, Red Ranger Andros.
Christopher Kamen Lee.
Number 4, yep. Caleb will be the first to sign Jim's petition. Number 4, he is the Quantum Ranger, Eric Myers. Number 3, the original Red Ranger and first true leader, Jason Scott. Number 2, the man of different colors, different positions, different educational backgrounds. Don't get me started on that. Tommy Oliver. And number 1, everyone's favorite Time Force Pink Ranger, Jen herself. That is our top 12 list of Power Rangers. And I think after that, before we stay on here and keep going into a heated argument of yelling back and forth, and Jim bringing in celebrities such as Rosie O'Donnell and others to petition a recount, we're going to go down the list and say our goodbyes. So, Jim, where can the good kids find you online, my friend?
On Facebook and at the Foo Fighters concert, April 21st, 2018, Dallas, Texas.
I wonder what your next concert's going to be after that, because we're all thinking that in music. Like, once the Foo Fighters is done, what's going to be the next one?
Spoiler alert, it'll be on an island in the sun.
Ah. Well, and you could probably also find him signing petitions to make Tommy number 1, but that's another story. Ryan, where can the good kids find you, my friend?
Well, you can find me on the interwebs at Ryan Permison on Facebook. That's RyanPermison, and on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Look forward to talking pop culture with you there, and I'll see you then.
RPM fanboy. What?
No.
All right.
No, there's a story behind
Before
that.
these two started arguing with each other, I am, as always, TM Smith. You could find me on Jack of All Trivia on Facebook. And as you can see with our first video on here, our first video on the new channel, Jack of All Trivia on YouTube. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the new channel. Different matches all throughout the scheduling weeks. TV Sundays, Music Mondays, Movie Tuesdays, Wrestling Wednesdays, IG Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays we have open right now. Who knows? We'll decide what we do with that. Maybe some special news shows coming down the line, maybe in one of those days. We'll keep you updated. But as always, that is Jim. That is Ryan. I am TM. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you for my panelists for stopping by. We will see you next time. Good night and